In the quiet town of Willow Creek, where leafy trees lined the streets and the sound of chirping birds filled the air, a story of unexpected romance began to unfold. It was a tale that would challenge stereotypes and ignite a fire within two seemingly opposite souls. This is the story of Abby, a young woman with a passion for books, and Brett, the enigmatic man who would turn her world upside down. Abby, a petite and shy 21-year-old, had just graduated from Willow Creek High School. Her high school years were spent immersed in the pages of countless novels, seeking solace in fictional worlds. With her chestnut brown hair often falling into her hazel eyes, she would sit in the corner of the school library, devouring book after book. The library was her sanctuary, a place where she felt safe and could escape the chaos of teenage drama. On graduation day, Abby wore a simple white dress, her hair tied back in a neat ponytail. She felt a sense of accomplishment, but also a tinge of sadness as she bid farewell to the familiar halls of her school. Little did she know, this was the day her ordinary life would take an extraordinary turn. As she walked home, her mind drifted to the books she had yet to read. Her favorite bookstore, the Book Nook, was located on the outskirts of town, and she decided to make a detour. The quaint shop, with its wooden shelves and the aroma of aged paper, was her second home. She spent hours there, browsing through the shelves, her fingers tracing the spines of books, each one a portal to a different adventure. While lost in the fantasy section, Abby heard a deep, resonating voice that seemed to echo through the quiet store. "Excuse me, miss. Do you happen to know where I might find classic romance novels?" Startled, Abby turned around to face a man who seemed to embody the very essence of a bad boy cliché. Standing at an impressive 6 feet tall, with chiseled features and piercing blue eyes, he was the epitome of rugged charm. His blonde hair, slightly disheveled, fell perfectly across his forehead, and a hint of a smirk played on his lips. Abby recognized him instantly. It was Brett, the notorious high school heartthrob and bully. I think they're on the other side of the store," Abby stammered, feeling her cheeks grow warm. She had never spoken to him before, and his reputation preceded him. Brett was known for his charm and good looks, but also for his involvement in various high school pranks and his disregard for authority. "Much obliged, beautiful," he said, his voice smooth as silk. He gave her a wink, sending a rush of heat through her body, and strode confidently in the direction she had indicated. Abby's heart raced. She felt a mixture of emotions, excitement, confusion, and a hint of fear. She had heard stories about Brett's conquests, how he would sweep girls off their feet only to break their hearts. Yet, there was something about his presence that intrigued her, a spark of curiosity she couldn't ignore. An unexpected invitation. After what felt like an eternity, Abby gathered the courage to peek around the shelves, hoping to catch another glimpse of Brett. To her surprise, he was still there, browsing through the classics. As their eyes met, he approached her, his stride confident and purposeful. "You seem to know your way around books," he remarked, his voice carrying a hint of admiration. "I could use some help choosing a good read. Care to join me for a cup of coffee and offer your expertise?" Abby's heart skipped a beat. She had never been invited out by a guy, especially not by someone like Brett. Her mind raced with doubts and insecurities. Was this a cruel joke? Or had he genuinely taken an interest in her? I don't know," she mumbled, her eyes darting around the room. Brett's smirk softened into a genuine smile. "Come on, it's just coffee. I promise I won't bite." Something about his assurance calmed her nerves. Perhaps it was the way his eyes seemed to see right through her, or the hint of vulnerability she thought she glimpsed beneath his confident exterior. "Okay," she agreed, surprising herself. "I'll come." They ventured to a nearby cafe, the Cozy Bean, known for its cozy atmosphere and freshly brewed coffee. The warm lighting and the aroma of freshly baked goods created an inviting ambience. They chose a corner table, giving them a sense of privacy. As they settled in, Abby's initial shyness began to melt away. Brett had a way of drawing people into his world, and she found herself captivated by his stories. He spoke of his travels, his passion for adventure, and his desire to break free from the small-town expectations. His eyes lit up as he described the thrill of exploring new places, and Abby felt a connection forming, a shared desire to escape the ordinary. "You know, Abby, you're not like the other girls in this town," Brett said, leaning forward, his eyes intense. "There's a fire in you, a passion that's rare to find. I can see it in the way you talk about books, in the way your eyes light up when you discover a new story." Abby felt her cheeks flush at his words. No one had ever spoken to her like that before. She was used to being overlooked, her love for books often deemed as an oddity by her peers. But Brett seemed to understand, to appreciate her unique spirit. "And you, Brett," she replied, her voice gaining confidence, "you're not like the other guys. You've always been different. I used to watch you from afar in school, wondering what it would be like to be one of the girls you noticed." A playful grin spread across his face. "And here I am, noticing you. What took me so long, I wonder?" They shared a moment of laughter, their eyes locked, and Abby felt a surge of excitement. This was new territory for her, a thrilling adventure beyond the pages of her beloved books. A daring proposal. As the afternoon turned to evening, the cafe began to empty out. The soft jazz music playing in the background created a romantic atmosphere. Brett leaned across the table, his gaze intense. "Abby, I have a proposition for you," he said, his voice low and enticing. "I'm planning a road trip across the country, a journey of self-discovery. I want to see the world, experience life beyond Willow Creek. And I want you to come with me." Abby's heart nearly leaped out of her chest. This was not what she had expected, but the idea was exhilarating. To embark on a journey with Brett, to see the world through his eyes, it was a temptation she couldn't ignore. "But why me?" she asked, her voice laced with uncertainty. "There are so many other girls who would jump at the chance." Brett reached across the table and took her hand, his touch sending shivers down her spine. "Because you're different, Abby. You see the world differently. I want to share this adventure with someone who can appreciate it, who can see the beauty in the unknown. And I think you're that person." Abby's mind raced with 1,000 thoughts. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but it also meant leaving behind her comfortable life. Yet, something about Brett's proposal felt right, like a missing piece of her puzzle. I need some time to think," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. Brett's smile was understanding. "Take all the time you need. But know that I'm offering you a chance to write your own story, one that's waiting to be lived." As they stepped out of the cafe into the cool night air, Abby's mind was a whirlwind of emotions. She bid Brett goodbye, promising to give him an answer soon. As she walked home, the scent of spring blossoms filling her senses, she knew her life had taken an unexpected turn. The shy bookworm had caught the attention of the town's bad boy, and now, a daring adventure awaited her decision. The first chapter of their story had begun, leaving Abby with a choice that would shape her future. Would she embrace the unknown and embark on a journey with Brett? Or would she remain in the familiar confines of Willow Creek? The decision hung in the balance, a tantalizing prospect that only time would reveal.